A famous pamphlet, a kuntres produced by a young man murdered brutally in the war, named Yoina Kaperlof, became a crucial resource for all budding Torah giants and anyone searching for Torah greatness. The Sefer, titled Yoinis Elim, is an imperative work that every Torah scholar must have at his disposal. To my knowledge, I think it's the only source that we have for Reb Chaim Brisker's famous insight to Choiv Licht Mashkein. And about this holy man, it has been said from Baruch Ber Leibowitz that I'm not sure who understood my shir, paraphrasing, but I know that Yoina understood my shir. Murdered brutally. His legacy still lives on through his Sefer, the Yoinis Elim. Now, tucked away, right at the beginning of his Sefer, there's about a handful of Musar talks that he heard through his days in yeshiva, including in Yeshivas Mir. One of them, given straight from the mouth of Hagoynat Tzadik the Mashgiach Rabbi Yerucham Levovitz, Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Livracha. Now, while it's exciting, there is something even more special about this. The talk was given about Parshas Balak, our Parsha, and the idea will leave you flabbergasted. Rabbi Yerucham begins with the famous division of how and what are living beings. There are rocks, which are inanimate objects, tzoimeach, which is a living object but can't exactly walk around. It's a plant, an organism, perhaps even, an infection. I think that's alive. A chai is an animal. That's the next level, the third level, an animal. And a medaber, the highest level, being a human, someone who can have seichel, and somebody who can talk, aka a medaber. Now, this division is, at first glance, kind of how we are. We're stuck in it. A rock cannot just become a walking, breathing animal, or definitely not speak. And an animal cannot just talk. Each individual entity has their own purpose, their own capabilities, and they're relatively stuck in their position, right? Wrong. Rabbi Yerucham tells us, no. You ever seen it? Rocks can grow fruits. It can grow algae, moss. A travertine rock literally grows. Look it up. What's a travertine rock, you ask? It's a dense banded rock composed of calcite. It literally grows over time like something that's alive. The coral reef, perhaps you've seen one on vacation? That's a massive structure made of limestone that is alive. How about there are certain rocks that grow lithophyte? The rocks actually produce peiros. They level up from doimim to tzomeach. So what's left for us to discover is, well then, why are there different levels to it if technically you can just level up? One last insight that Rabbi Yerucham brings about the levels that were given, whether you are a doimim, tzomeach, chai, or medaber, an inanimate object, a growing object, a living and breathing object, or a speaker with seichel, is this week's parsha. We know the donkey talked. Bilam's donkey started to utter words. How does the pasuk say the story over? Vayiftach Hashem es pi ha'ason. Hashem opened up its mouth. Zok Rabbi Yerucham. We see from here that the donkey has the capabilities to be a medaber. It doesn't say that Hashem gave it the ability to talk. It says he opened its mouth. The capacity to speak was there. It was just lacking, the donkey that is, opening its mouth. Hashem opened the mouth and it spoke. But it has the capacity. A chai can become a medaber. So then why do we need the 4 different levels? Says Rabbi Yerucham, it's the lower limit. It's the basement. It's the nadir of your spiritual floor. You can't go beneath a certain level. A rock, a daimim, can turn into a tzemeach. A bacteria can turn into a chai. And a chai can be turned, or he can turn into a medaber. Now listen to this. The pasuk says that when the mouth of the donkey was opened by Hashem, the Sefarno comments like this. The Dvar Maskal, look it up, is Vayiftach pi ha'ason, when Hashem opened the mouth of the donkey. Kimo, the Sefarno says, this is like when David HaMelech said the famous words, Hashem sefasai tiftach, please open my mouth. The Sefarno connects the donkey opening its mouth to David HaMelech's holy praise of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, this is a Pella Atzuma, a tremendous wonder. How is it possible that the Seforno could connect the donkey opening its mouth to David HaMelech? Zok Rabbi Yerucham, do you want the flabbergasting Yesod? David HaMelech, when he opened his mouth, he had recognized something new in the world. He had leveled up. He had seen Hashem through a new angle. And it was a complete leveling up from a medaber, from his status, to the next level of human. He leveled up in the same way that the donkey went from a chai to a medaber. David HaMelech went from David HaMelech before he had noticed and recognized Hashem's greatness to an entirely new level, and now Hashem Sefasai Tiftach, an entirely new level of a medaber. Practically, if your name is Moshe and you put on tefillin today, before tefillin, you were Moshe without tefillin, and afterwards, you're Moshe with tefillin. They have nothing to do with each other. They're two separate entities. You've leveled up. Kol avodas ha'adam mitchila va'ad sof. The entire job of man, of you, from your birth to your death, is to keep leveling up. You keep leveling up. Nacha level, level 1, level 2, level 3, until you get to angelic status. What a phenomenal chizuk. To anyone who hasn't seen success immediately in their spiritual or ruchnius journey, it seems impossible. But please, please remember, a rock can grow and produce living things. Animals can begin to talk. The impossible is really very, very possible. Keep leveling up.